Initially, I contacted them because of their reputation in the Mill Hill area, and they responded very quickly, and that was impressive. They weren't the only ones I contacted, but of all the three, they were very much the front runner in terms of me wanting to give them my business. I had 3 estate agents in. The challenge for me was that the disparity between valuation was huge, and so I didn't know who was the most accurate. But because I was selling for somebody else using power of attorney, I had a duty of care, shall we say, to try and get the maximum I could for the property. So first of all, Martin Gerrard gave the highest valuation, and I felt it was realistic. I also found them more professional in the sense that they came across as just telling me what I needed to know. They didn't overload me with material. They followed up very quickly, and therefore they got the business. One of the things I was looking for was to have an estate agent, and I'll use the word, although it sounds trite, that would be a partner. I needed somebody who I felt I could work with, and that they would push me when I needed pushing, but equally they would accept that I would push them when I needed to do so. And that's what I was looking for particularly. And I found that very much with Jatin, who ultimately I worked with most of the time. So that was key for me. When they came to see the property, which required renovation, so it was a project as much as anything else, they believed they had the right buyer in mind straight away. And that person came to see it, I think it was within 48 hours. And ultimately we agreed an acceptable offer and the job was done. And that's what I was paying for, that connectivity with the marketplace. The qualities I was looking for from an estate agent was not to overinflate their opinion of the property just to get my business, not to give me an exaggerated valuation, nor to give me something at the other end of the spectrum, and ultimately to convince me and then prove it that they did have the right buyers on their books, not that they would have to market it for very long. And that's what they did. Did I feel I could trust an estate agent? I wanted to trust an estate agent. That was key to me, notwithstanding the pretty poor publicity they often get. And Martin Gerrard proved that they were really at the top end of the spectrum. I did trust them. I trusted Jatin, who I work with, and hopefully he trusted me. I'm the sort of person that doesn't have time for games. It just wastes time. And neither Jatin nor I think, wasted any time from each other. So yeah, that was goodness. So one of the things that I really did appreciate from them, over and above what I expected, was when I found myself rather busy and didn't have time to go to them, for example, to drop off the keys or paperwork, I asked if they could meet me at the property, and they did that without thinking twice about it. They always turned up on time, and I really valued that hugely. I would unequivocally recommend Martin Gerrard, and as I'm probably having to sell another property for another family member where I live now, which is not in Mill Hill, had they an office in my area, then I would be using them again. But sadly, they don't.